scatter plots, we had 3 different correlations. We had positive that goes up from left to right, just like slope. Negative goes down. No correlation means that they're not connected. So a positive one says as the x values increase, the y values also increase, right? So x goes up and y goes up. This one, the x or the y might go up and the other one would go down. This is not related, right? This is like the color of your hair and your shoe size, right? There's no correlation there. We use a line of best fit to make predictions. And we always use lists and spreadsheets. Now, these directions are a little bit different. We can go into lists and spreadsheets. And we are just going to use our normal menu 4, 6, 3, or you can use, or I'm sorry, not 4, 6. 4, 1, 3. Is that what it is? Or is it this 1, 3? Now I've confused myself. What's the one we normally do for lists and spreadsheets? 4, 1, 3. Thank you. Or 4, 1, 6. Whatever type of graph it is. And then remember, it's going to take, so this is 3, this is 6, and this is A. And it's going to take and put that graph in. You can add the graph and it'll put it in F1. When we look down here, we have lists and spreadsheets, right? We're looking for the R, not the R squared. Let me zoom in on that for you, right? That is our correlation coefficient. Does anybody remember anything about R? All right, so if we have -1, actually, I'll write it like that. Negative and positive 1, these are strong. Super strong positive or super strong negative. But if it's close to 0, that means there is no association, right? It's not going to make a line, right? So if it was like 0.83, that would be a really strong positive correlation like what we have up here. Okay, remember, the stronger the correlation, the closer the dots are to that line of best fit. Okay, and then there is slope there for, we had that on the last one. All right, so let's look at a little bit of practice for this because it's been a while since we've done it. What is the slope of a line passing through? How do you find slope of a line? There's lots of ways. What are you going to do? Tell me. How do we find slope from 2 points? Rise over run. I don't have a graph. You can make a table. You can make you can do list and spreadsheets. All right. So if we go to, I made me a little table here. If we go to list and spreadsheets, now this is going to give you the entire equation, but that's okay. Because what letter is slope representing? So we can say menu 413, like we said a minute ago, x and y. Guys, you do not have to go all the way down to the equals. You can just hit enter twice. There's my slope. What does it say? Negative. Oh, I don't. Which one of these is negative 0.8? C. Very nice. If you used your bird beaks like we did before, this is adding 4 and this is subtracting 5. Remember, it is the change in y over the change in x. These are the same. Okay? Mark. All right, what about this one? Can we do the same thing here? All right, you can use list and spreadsheets, or if you just wanted to say +4 and +3. Is it 3 over 4 or 4 over 3? It is 4 over 3. Remember, it is always the change in y over the change in x. Okay? You can also use your calculator to double check that. What would be your answer here? B. We just used the calculator, so, but please, 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 this is on your formula chart. And the first time, this one is on the formula chart. So the very first time we first started doing slope, what was the biggest mistake people made? They put the X over the Y, right? So if you're going to do this by hand, that's great. Plug it in and check it. All right, which function models this data? All right, well, this is a pretty strong. Here's my line of best fit. I'm going to kind of draw a line through the middle of most of those. Is this a positive line or a negative line? It's a positive line. So look at your slopes here. Cannot be B, cannot be C. Look at my line of best fit down here. It's up. Where is my y-intercept? Is it at 14.7 or is it closer to 4.9? Closer to 4.9. Now, we could, this one's a little harder to do because these points are kind of all over. If you wanted to write out these points and put them in the calculator, you can do that as well. You could put the answer choices in the graph and see which one looks similar. Absolutely, that's a great idea. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. I want you to do these three. This shouldn't take you too long. I want you to work with your table on that. And then we will discuss the last piece. All right, see what you can do. So we got B, C, and A. And our last piece is going to be on systems, and it's going to be on inequalities. This right here, you need to put an X through. I wish that we could graph inequalities in our calculator. However, they made me turn that off, okay? Now, that doesn't mean if you have an inequality, you can't graph it to see the lines. You can do that. If you have a system of equations, remember we have one solution where they intersect. We have no solutions if they're parallel or infinite if they overlap. Things to remember about inequalities. If it is a greater than, we're shading above. If it's or equal to, bless you, it has a solid line. If it's less than, we're shading below. You can also use that 0, 0 point that we talked about on inequalities. So, real quick, look at 3, and then I'm going to let you work. And you'll finish it at home right here. You have to change this to y equals. We did that before, so we're going to add 2 and divide by 7. And we get y is less than or equal to -6, and then this is just plus 2 over 7. If you remember, we did MBLS here, where our slope is 2/7. -6, this is less than. Are we shading above or below? This is less than, this is below. Is our line solid or dotted? Solid. So we're going to start at -6. We're going to count up to over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here is our line. It is solid. And we're going to shade below. If you wanted to check that, you could put the zeros in. It should be false, so you get 0 plus 0 is less than or equal to -42. That is false, so that one would not work. If you want to do a solution set, you're just going to use your calculator. You can solve it, or you can just start plugging in numbers, right? You can say 0, this would be 0 less than -3, false. So you could do this if you wanted to use your calculator. Plug in your numbers. So we would say 0 for y, because you can do inequalities on the calculator if you do control equals. Do you remember that? And we can say less than, I'm just going to use -0.75 because that's easier to type. -3, false. It's not that one. Okay, you could even go up and copy it, bless you, and change your numbers, false. You go up and you copy, you just highlight it in blue and you hit enter. I did that. Okay. So we can change this to a -5 on the x, and we can change this to a -2 on the y. That one is true. There's your solution. All right. So you can definitely plug it in. This is a, how are you going to do this? Do you even need a graph for a system? No, what are we going to use? Menu, 3, 2. And we did one like this on our warm-up. 4x minus 7y equals negative 2. 12x minus 21y equals negative 42. What does this mean? No solution found. They're what? I understand that. What does this mean? We will go when we are done. What does this mean? What does that mean about the lines? They are parallel. They're going to be like this. All right? You need to do the you-dos, and you need to finish these 3 released questions. I will see you tomorrow.